After the first week of finals, the verdict is in. Nick Maxwell and Quinton Lynch suspended. Jared Roughead can accept a reprimand. Welcome everyone. Matt Thompson here alongside Match Review Panel Chairman Mark Fraser. Mark, thanks for being with us as always. Let's get straight into it. Nick Maxwell, 3 matches down to 2 with an early plea for his off-the-ball hit on Hawthorn's Paul Puopolo.
Yes, with this one, the ball's kicked into the Hawthorn forward line and Maxwell plants and delivers a bump to Puopolo, who then goes down and stays down for an extended period of time. He's then taken from the field with a blood rule and you can see blood coming from his nose. So we thought this was rough conduct and reckless in action and of medium impact.
Let's just talk through the gradings here. Had to be high contact. I think we can all see Puopolo with the bloodied nose there, as you mentioned. There was some talk that it was broken, but the club says that's not the case. The conduct reckless and the medium, the impact medium. Talk us through that.
Yeah, well, we thought that because the ball was so far away from the actual contact that Maxwell should realise if he delivers a bump like that far off the ball, that it will be a reckless act. So he should know that if he makes high contact, it's going to be a report.
And the force medium?
And the force medium, because of, as you can see, he stays on the ground and you see from the vision down the ground that there's a Puopolo stays down for an extended period of time and then is taken from the field. So we believe that was medium force. And
also important to point out, he has no existing good or bad record.
Yes, exactly. So he doesn't have any carryover points or any additions to his charge at all. It's just a straight rough conduct charge.
All right, from the Eagles, Quinton Lynch has been suspended for a week for rough conduct against North's Scott McMahon. It has to stay at 1 match because of his record, negligent, low and body contact.
Yeah, here you can see McMahon comes backwards with the ball to try and take the mark, and Lynch jumps into him and makes contacts very forcefully with his knees. We believe that's breaching your duty of care as a player. If you go into the contest like that and you go knees first like that, even though there's a sort of an attempt to hit the ball right at the end there, we think that that's worthy of a charge of charging. So.
What are the ramifications of this kind of action, do you think? Why is it important that this is stamped out of the game? Well,
going into a marking contest like that with the knees and contacting somebody, it does have the potential, sort of in the worst case scenario, that you break somebody's back. So as you can see, it was a very forceful hit and we believe that that's a charge.
All right, Hawthorn's Jared Roughead will be available to play in the preliminary final. He's been offered a reprimand for rough conduct on Chris Dawes. Reckless, low impact and body contact.
Yeah, Dawes is just standing, walking forward, and Roughead comes through there and makes contact sort of with his shoulder and arm. So we believe that was a rough conduct charge, unnecessary and unreasonable in the circumstances. He stays down for a little bit of time, but medically came back clear, so we thought that it was low impact. So a reckless, low impact charge of rough conduct.
Yeah, a lot of people, Mark, will be drawing comparisons with Steve Johnson and that incident from last week, which looked at really closely here on the verdict. Now, this has actually been graded the same, but it's important to point out that this is where prior records really do come into play, and that's why Johnson missed that final on the weekend.
Yeah, Johnson had the previous bad record, unfortunately, so did miss a week, whereas Roughead with this one just gets a reprimand.
All right, so he is free to play. Reprimand as well for Collingwood's Chris Tarrant for striking Lance Franklin. Intentional, low impact and body contact for this one.
Yeah, here Tarrant takes a large swing and makes contact to Franklin. You can see Franklin wince on the video, and we believe that there's more than negligible impact in that strike. He gets up and continues to play. The medical came back clear, but we think that's enough force for a charge of striking.
These guys had a really interesting battle all night long. Did you look at any other incidents involving these two during the game, in particular for perhaps wrestling?
Yeah, we looked at an incident for wrestling and we determined that there wasn't enough time or vigour in it. There was a lot of lying, sort of just not doing too much, which, yeah, there needs to be vigour in a wrestling situation and going on for an extended period of time.
Yeah, all right, certainly was. A fair bit of niggle, though. Brent Harvey will have a late start to next season, 4 weeks out from 2 striking charges. The first on Daniel Kerr, intentional, medium and high contact, 3 weeks with an early plea.
Yeah, here you can see Harvey turn and strikes Kerr high. The medical determined, came back that it was certainly a high strike there, and we believe that that's an intentional strike of medium impact. So Kerr goes down, the siren goes for the end of the quarter then, but we believe that there was enough force in that for the grading of medium.
And the second incident was on Adam Selwood, reckless, medium and high. So the difference here is that this was reckless, and this is a week with an early plea.
Yeah, here we had limited vision, unfortunately, so we had an investigation done, and that showed that there had been a strike high. We were unsure as to how the strike happened, but Selwood did come from the ground bleeding, and we believe that there was a strike that had occurred via Harvey, so a reckless strike in that, because we couldn't be sure that it was intentional in nature.
All right, so what happens in that case? Do you talk to the players and to the umpires? And
yeah, the investigator talks to the players and the umpires involved, and then we come to the determination after we get the report back from the investigator.
And we can see the blood there on Selwood's face. Now, just to be clear, the carryover points that Harvey had only apply the once, and he didn't have a loading coming into this match. So just because he's been pinged the first time in the game, he doesn't then get a loading for the second charge from the same match.
No, that's right, because he could potentially challenge that and be found not guilty. So his initial points are added to that first charge, but he didn't have any suspension at all. You have to have missed a game to get that loading. So he only had points which didn't get up to that match, and so only added to that first bit.
So at the moment, the offer stands at 4 matches in total for the 2 charges?
Yes, 4 matches.
All right. Geelong's James Kelly has copped a 1-match ban. This on Tendai Mzungu from Fremantle. Negligent, low and high contact. Now, this has to stay at 1 match because of the carryover points from actually striking Mzungu earlier in the year.
Yes, that's right. So with this one, Mzungu's down, going for the ball, and Kelly comes through and elects sort of at last minute to bump him and cops him high. So we believed, and as the umpire did on the night, that it was a report, but of low impact. Mzungu continued on and took his kick, but we believe that that's a report.
All comes down to duty of care there?
Yes, absolutely. So whilst he was sort of only a couple of steps away, the fact that he tried to bump the guy with his head down over the ball means that we believe he has a charge to answer. All
right, a couple of other incidents to look at just quickly. Andrew Cracker's contact with Josh Gibson.
Yeah, here with this one, Gibson's going to try and stop Cracker. He goes, Cracker gets around him, Gibson sticks his leg out and a trip ensues, but the umpire paid it for a trip. We didn't think there's enough force in that to warrant a report, so we believe it's a trip, but the free kick is enough penalty.
And one more to look at as well, Sydney's Jude Bolton on Adelaide's Patrick Dangerfield. Now, you're saying that this is not a striking motion. You had a close look at it, though?
Yes, we did. We looked at the contact. You see Bolton go in for the smother there. Dangerfield's coming down as he tries to make that sort of, I suppose, for the inevitable contact, he tries to brace himself a bit. And we didn't think that it was a striking action, so we didn't think that that was worthy of a report.
All right, Mark. Well, thank you for that. Only 4 matches to look at today, but still a very, very busy day for the match review panel.
Yeah, still a very busy day.
All right, down to 2 matches next week. Maybe it will start to get easier.
Yeah, maybe.
Thank you very much. Mark Fraser with us, the chairman of the match review panel. That is the verdict for the first week of finals. Players' side would have until 11 o'clock Tuesday morning to decide if they'd like to challenge their charges at the tribunal. Online right now, we have a full text report on all of the incidents looked at from the weekend. From all of us here at afl.com.au, thank you for watching.